The U.S. Department of Justice, under the guidance of Attorney General Pam Bondi, recently launched the Weaponization Working Group. And yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. It is the Trump administration weaponizing federal law enforcement against Donald Trump's political enemies. Although they claim it's actually the opposite. What they're doing is investigating the people who had weaponized the DOJ to go after Donald Trump, which isn't a thing that happened. If the DOJ were in fact weaponized to go after Donald Trump, Trump would have been in jail and not even able to run for president in 2024 because they would have filed the charges against him back in 2021, held a trial in 2022, and probably sent him to prison in 2023. That's how that timeline would have worked if the DOJ had in fact been weaponized against him. But it clearly was not, and the rest is history. But not for this administration, certainly not for Donald Trump. By God, he wants to get to the bottom of it, and everybody who played a role in it is going to be punished. And he has now taken his former interim U.S. attorney for D.C., a man by the name of Ed Martin, and he will be running this office even though he has no prosecutorial experience. And he even served as an interim U.S. attorney and has no prosecutorial experience. He's just a MAGA activist. And he'll be heading up the Weaponization Working Group with, of course, Fox News host Jeanine Pirro taking over as the interim U.S. attorney for D.C. Ed Martin this week announced what he plans to do with this Weaponization Working Group, because obviously all these people who worked on these Trump cases, that doesn't mean they committed a crime. So how are you going to punish those people? Well, don't worry, because Ed Martin has a plan. He said, quote, "There are some really bad actors, some people that did some really bad things to the American people, and if they can't be charged, if they can be charged, we'll charge them. But if they can't be charged, we will name them. And we will name them in a culture that respects shame. They should be people that are ashamed. And that's a fact. That's the way things work. And so that's how I believe the job operates." Just because that's how you believe the job operates is not, in fact, how the job operates. In fact, the DOJ actually has very strict guidelines about not releasing information about individuals that are parts of investigations but not charged. That is actually a long-standing statute with the Department of Justice, and it was brought up, by the way, by Rosenstein during Trump's first administration, who told the administration, you can't do that. Like, you can't name these people. They're part of the investigation, but they're not targets of the investigation. You can't reveal their identities. Ed Martin says, oh, hell no, we're going to name and shame them because, the culture of shame. That is not what this is about. This is so that MAGA targets them and tries to kill them. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Not going to try to reword it to sound a little less dire. They want to put these people's names out there so MAGA freaks go and kill them. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get these people killed. Because if we can't prosecute you, then we will sick these MAGA sickos on you. We'll tell them your names. Hell, we've already doxed people this year by accidentally releasing their addresses to the point where they've had to go into hiding. Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife is one of those people, by the way. And that is what will happen here. Oops, we didn't mean to put their addresses out there with their names, but, can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. People could die. And you cannot convince me that that's not what this administration wants. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.